The picture for you, it is probably hot. And speaking of which, we have seen record-breaking heat and drought conditions across most of the country this summer. And now that the dog days of summers are here, it could actually get worse.
Yes, and that is why Justin Silver is here. He is a professional dog trainer and host of CBS's Dogs in the City, and he has important advice on keeping your dog cool and safe, and he has along with him Pecan.
Yes.
Or Pecan, depending on what part of the country you're from.
Depending on where you're from. This is Pecan, who is available for adoption from North Shore Animal League. So
she's adorable.
She's a cutie. I assume she's going to go home pretty soon.
So what is the best temperature for her indoors over the summer?
You know, the important thing I tell people is just be aware of how hot your house is. You have to be aware, obviously, of your air conditioning bill, your electricity bill, so use your judgment. If you walk back into the house and you're like, oh my God, it's an oven in here, be aware of that. So whatever you're comfortable at, they'll pretty much be comfortable at.
And what are the signs that you're looking for? Let's say maybe you're out walking your dog. What is the telltale sign that something is wrong?
Well, you know, I own a dog care company, and dog walking at the Language of Dogs is a huge component of our company. So I always tell the walkers and the dog owners to be super aware of taking short walks, making sure you have plenty of water, keeping the dogs on the shady side of the street. If dogs start panting excessively, if they start drooling, if they get very lethargic, those are some of the telltale signs that they're suffering from heat exhaustion.
And if you see that happening to your pet, what do you do?
The best thing to do is get them hydrated, get them in the cool quickly. If they're really suffering from heat exhaustion, they have to go to the vet immediately. But, you know, a little bit of preventative measures are going to go a long way. So even things like, you know, they cool themselves through the pads of their feet, throwing some water on the floor so they can splash their paws around in the water, and just getting them off that scalding cement is really important.
Is there a difference between a dog's age? Do you see it more as a dog gets older? Are there different breeds to keep an eye out for that deal with this?
Just like people, overweight dogs and older dogs are going to be more susceptible to the heat. Also, dogs that have snub noses, the bulldog breeds, the pugs, they have narrower airways, so it's going to be harder for them to cool themselves as well.
How about caring for your dog in the summertime in terms of taking them for haircuts and things like that? Do you want to keep it short? Does it matter?
It does matter. The dogs that typically get groomed and get their hair cuts should get puppy cuts, but there are dogs that have longer hair, breeds like Golden Retrievers, Chow Chows, St. Bernards. Those breeds' hair actually serves as an insulator and keeps them cooler. So if it's a dog that typically gets their hair cut, keep it short. If it's a dog that doesn't really get groomed, that hair can actually help them out in keeping them cool.
We got Ken here in the studio. Not all dogs are as fortunate as her to be in here right now in the AC.
She's very lucky. It's freezing in here, and we're both very happy about it.
She's very actually. There are some dogs that are actually outside. They stay outside. So what about those dogs?
They are very susceptible to sunburn, just like us. It's very important that there is some tree shade, and if there isn't tree shade in your backyard, there has to be some sort of structure so they can get out of the heat. Make sure they have access to plenty of water, and make sure that water is in the shade as opposed to just sitting there and turning into boiling water in the heat. So.
Great information. Justin Silver, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. And if you'd like to adopt this cutie, Pecan or Pecan,
pass her over.
Go online to the North Shore Animal League at animalleague.org, and there are plenty of little doggies like Pecan on that site as well.
I love it. She's beautiful.
Very
so
sweet.
Cute.